Hey everyone, my name's James, and you've probably heard it said that the music industry is a total mess. While that may be true, it's also never been a better time to enter the music business. Let me tell you why. The music business has been around for roughly 100 years, and in that time there have been several major changes. In the last decade, however, the number of changes and the rate at which those changes have happened has increased dramatically, and that's what's causing so much confusion today. The traditional means of making an artist or developing your name in the business just don't work the way they used to, and a lot of people are lost on how to navigate today's waters. But I'm here to tell you that all those changes are ultimately for the best. You see, when people talk about the things that make the industry a mess or why it's so hard to navigate or why it's so hard to succeed, it's ultimately because the barrier for entry has never been lower. It's never been easier for someone to record and release a song. It's never been easier to get that song onto a platform where it can be exposed to billions of people all over the world. In fact, 20 years ago, the idea of recording a song in your living room, uploading it to something like SoundCloud or Audio Mac or YouTube, and then having it available to everyone on the planet was a complete work of fiction. People didn't even know that it would be possible in the near future, but here we are, and anyone with a smartphone or a laptop can easily record a song and put it on the internet in a matter of minutes, and that's awesome. Why people complain about something like that is because there's more competition than ever, and whether or not it's in the same genre as you, or even if it's on the same level of quality as you, there's simply more content. There's more music, there's more musicians, and all that means increased competition. It's harder to rise to the top. So maybe we don't have as many stadium level acts as we used to, but there are thousands and thousands of artists who are making a full-time living in the music business today. And that's all because of the internet and because of how much easier it is to build something yourself, which makes it ultimately a good thing. You know what else has never been possible before now? Easily building a brand online and connecting with your fans. Again, with a smartphone or a laptop computer, you can easily come up with an entire look and feel for your career that extends beyond the music. You can design your own logo, you can make all of your web pages resemble a certain aesthetic, you can easily have a look and feel to your music that everyone can easily understand as long as they find your music online. And as far as connecting with fans go, social media has completely changed the marketing game. It doesn't matter if you're a major label artist or if you're somebody working out of your hometown, as long as you have a connection to the internet, you can have a presence online and you can connect with people. You can reach out to total strangers and ask them to check out your music. Or if somebody has discovered your music that you don't know, you can find them talking about your music online and engage with them. You can build entire communities around your music without ever having to leave your house. And that's something that was never thought possible in the past. But here we are, and it's available to everyone, which again makes it a good thing. Now this one might be a little bit controversial, but I believe it's never been easier to make money in the music business. Now maybe we can't make the kind of money that rock stars of the past made, where the bands are riding on private jets and they're raking in more money than what they know what to do with. But we have to remember that the number of artists who were able to achieve that level of success in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s were very, very small. The same amount of artists seemingly have that level of success today. There's just more competition to get to that point. But getting to that point is just as hard as it's ever been. It's not necessarily harder because there's more competition. It's just there's only so many artists that can reach that level. And just because you can't reach to the point where you're selling out a stadium doesn't mean that you can't make a living in this business. And it's never been easier to at least start making money thanks to services like Spotify and YouTube who are actually paying musicians for their music. You can be a complete unknown who records a song in your bedroom, uploads it to the internet, and as long as somebody finds your music and cares about it, they can help you make money in your career. That's never been the case before. If you were a local band 20 years ago, you had to pay for a studio, you had to pay a producer to make your music, and once you had the music, you had to pay for CDs or cassettes or vinyl or all three. You had to take on all those costs, go into debt, and then hopefully book shows and hopefully sell your merch. Today, a lot of those steps can be erased. You can jump all of those hurdles and get straight to sharing your music with people and making money from that music, which again is a good thing. And because you're able to make money with your music without having to buy CDs or buy cassettes or go to a proper studio, it is possible to build a career in music outside the traditional label machine. Now, I'm not saying that labels are bad, because they're definitely not. There are certain parts of the industry that are only accessible if you have a great team around you who are experienced in the industry. Even if it's just a distribution deal for an independent artist, that can be life-changing. However, there are a ton of artists who build a career out of their homes, out of their studio apartments, that ultimately go on to sell out theaters with 15 to 2,000 cap rooms and make a great living. You don't even have to go that big. If you're playing 800 cap rooms every single night and you're headlining, you can make a decent living that will support you and pay your bills and pay for insurance and help you raise children. The barrier to entry has never been lower, and that's ultimately a good thing for everyone in this business. As long as you can write great songs and you can share those songs with people who give a damn about what you're doing, you can have a career in this business. And that has never been as true as it is right now. It is a beautiful time to be in the music business because you can share who you are with the world, and there is a possibility that there's a community that wants to hear it. Before, you had to fit into some box. You had to be easily marketable. You had to be someone that if you put $10,000 or $20,000 or $100,000 into getting behind you, the label or whoever was backing you knew they could make their money back. Now, that doesn't matter. As long as you have a unique sound that people want to hear more from, you can have a career in this industry, and that's beautiful. To further emphasize how great it is to be in the music business now, you should look at the artists who perform really well on things like YouTube or TikTok. Both these platforms have helped artists develop careers where they are sustaining themselves through music alone, and without the help of a label or radio play or any of the traditional means of getting to a successful point in your career. If a song goes viral on TikTok, people will search for that song on Spotify and other services. A great example would be the artist Asha Nikko, who recently went viral on TikTok for her song Stupid. That track went from having about 10,000 plays on Spotify to over 9 million in less than a month, all because of the popularity on TikTok. And if you look at a royalties calculator, those 9 million plays equal out to tens of thousands of dollars, all of which were done before a label came into her life. And once you get to that point, once you develop yourself to the point where you're existing outside the machine, guess what? The machine comes to you. Labels start seeking out people who are popular on these platforms because they recognize that they already have a community. They have everything they need to be a successful, self-sustaining artist, and label wants to get behind you and give you the money to raise the profile of your career. And that's how the industry should work. You don't have to go into debt necessarily to become a star anymore. As long as you can build a community on your own, people will come to you and want to work with you who will help you raise your profile and expand that community without making you go hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt. That's no longer the case, and that's a wonderful thing for artists everywhere. So if you find yourself looking at a blog where people are talking about the death of the music industry, or if you find yourself in a conversation with people who are just lamenting the fact that it's so hard to get ahead, remember, that's not the case. There's more competition than ever, yes, but there are more opportunities than ever as well. And while you might not be able to reach the stadium sellout heights of fame that people always look after, you might have to keep in mind that that was never in the cards for the type of music you create. Not every artist is meant to sell 20,000 tickets to every single show. Not every artist is even meant to sell 1,000 tickets to every show. But you don't have to have that level of success in order to be a full-time musician. At least not in 2019, and probably not in any of the years to come. The industry is changing for the better because it's easier than ever to get started. And if you can get started, then you can build whatever you want as long as you're dedicated to your craft. Focus on community, focus on songwriting, make great stuff, and treat people well, and you will get ahead in this industry. And if you're already there, if you've gotten a little bit of a start in the industry, but you still have questions, that is why this channel, Music Biz, exists. We create a ton of content geared at helping you understand and navigate the industry so that you can be the successful artist that you were meant to become. So please, click the subscribe button down below and join us on this journey. And if you have ideas for videos or something that you want us to help you understand, just drop a comment and we will respond or we will create that video for you. But please, click that subscribe button. I also want to suggest if you're trying to promote your music to tastemakers or radio or sales or booking agents, whatever it happens to be, I recommend Holix, the industry standard for music promotion. Holix is trusted by everyone from Tool to Mariah Carey, Steve Aoki, and thousands upon thousands more. So go to holix.com today and sign up. And if you do, you'll get your first month of service absolutely free thanks to your friends here at Music Biz. And if you do that or if you don't do that, keep your head up and take care of yourself because you deserve it.